So Eva, what's going on?
Well, Sterling, I don't know if you heard, but we're going to Mexico. This is unfreaking real right now.
It's early February in southern Arizona, and Eva and I are heading off on a long motorcycle adventure. We're gonna go to one of our favorite places on earth.
Oh, coming off the kickstand. For me, it's always a whirlwind, getting ready to go, taking care of the innkeepers, making sure the hotel has everything that it needs, making sure that the dogs are all settled in, making sure that work is all done, that the out of office is set.
Making sure I have the right camera, making sure I have lenses, making sure my batteries are charged.
Well, all my stuff is loaded onto my bike. All I need to do is put my helmet on and ride to Douglas. We are not just riding into Sonora. We are importing our bikes over in Douglas and then riding down into Sinaloa to take the ferry over to La Paz. Once we hit that ferry, we're going to be in Baja by the morning.
Fill you in on all the details coming up. All right, let's get the GPS set up here. I'm gonna start recording tracks right from the get-go. This is where the excitement kicks in as we head out of our hometown on a long adventure. Our first destination is just down the road about 30 miles. And that's where we're gonna cross the border into Mexico, into the town of Agua Prieta. We're gonna do our vehicle paperwork there. Now we're heading south towards Banamichi, and I've been on this paved 2-lane back road for 60 miles so far with nary a town to go through or a stoplight or anything. It's just continuous ribbon 2-lane pavement winding its way through agricultural valleys and the small mountain ranges, grasslands. Really good afternoon of riding, but we still have a long ways to go to make it to the Sea of Cortez this evening. Now we're coming into our first little destination of the day. It's a place called Banamichi. We have been riding for a couple hours. A fantastic ride to get down here to this really cool restored hotel.
This is Hotel Los Arcos. It's owned by another motorcycle couple, Tom and Lynn. They're so cool. They've been down here for almost 20 years and they built this place by hand. It was a vacant lot and look at what they've created over the years.
We came down on our bikes and we decided we wanted to build a hotel. So we bought the property, got a crew together, and we went to work. 26 months later, we had a hotel and fully operational. We've been here 17 years and left the States and decided this is where we're going to live the rest of our life. People know us, we're the only gringos in town. I like it that way. It just turned out to be a really good decision.
What a beautiful patio here, and they've got rooms upstairs as well. Look at all the plants around here and the artistic touches. And this is kind of like a taste of what's to come on this trip because we're hoping to find some really cool places like this to spend a few of our nights in addition to motorcycle camping. We're gonna mix it up a little bit on this trip. But let's get back on the road now and see if we can't make it down to the Sea of Cortez tonight. Here we are in San Carlos. We're on mainland Mexico, and southern Baja is going to be across the water over there.
We're at the ocean! It's rush hour at the Sea of Cortez. All of the birds look like they're taking off and heading out to sea for the day. They're so cool looking.
So good to be back by the ocean.
Yeah, I love it.
We found this really cute place to stay. It's called Casa Magdalena, and it's basically a house here in the suburbs, I would say, of San Carlos. Beautiful. Breakfast, there's a swimming pool, and everything we needed to get a good night's sleep before we get on the road and head down to a town with a great name, Topolobompo. That's where we can take the ferry across the Sea of Cortez to Baja, really get this journey started.
Sterling and I just came through the toll plaza and he's got himself a nice flat tire. There's another nut right in there, so if you just put something in and hammer it out, yeah, perfect. Is this the part of the trip where I teach Sterling how to change his tire? Just kidding.
It's hot, it's noisy, but we found a little construction shack here on the side of the road and we're gonna swap out tubes.
I think we're getting two things out of the way early in the trip. Riding at night, the other is flat tires. So we handled all of that in the first day, so we're good. Made it 10 feet, it still looks good.
Good. You made it 44 years, you still look good. We are in a town called Alamos right now, Alamos, Sonora. The beautiful Sierra Madre Mountains off in the distance. The Copper Canyon is in that direction.
Alamos is adorable. It's so cute here. The old buildings, the pueblos mágicos. I just love it. We're in the little town square and we're staying right on the front. So it's gonna be popping tonight. Friday night in Alamos. We got beers.
Oh, look at you.
Cheers.
Cheers. Welcome to Alamos. This is an adventure, you know why?
Why?
Because nothing is going according to plan.
No, it's the best. We've already gotten in after dark and had a flat tire on the side of the highway.
And missed a ferry.
And Mr.
And ended up here, sitting in this great little town with cold Mexican
love it.
beer. What's there to complain about?
Man, the dogs here are good. Look at this cute dog that I took a picture of. Look at him, just sleeping.
A change of plans. We were headed down to take the ferry across the Sea of Cortez, and I got a flat tire. Put the spare inner tube in the bike and got back on the road, only to realize that we were going to be too late to make it to our ferry. So we have 2 extra days on our hands that we're going to be spending in mainland Mexico before we catch the ferry Sunday night. At least that's the plan right now. But as you know, these things can change. We're going to enjoy exploring this magical pueblo. Welcome to Alamos. This is one of the pueblos mágicos, colonial city down here in southern Sonora. I'm out to try to find a cup of coffee. So day 3 on our Baja, Mexico trip. We haven't even made it to Baja yet. This hotel is really cool. I've stayed here before, and it's a really old building. It's a work in progress. They're continually updating it, but I can tell they have a lot of love and care. They put a lot of energy into this place. There's a wrought iron fence on this little balcony overlooking the town square here, which is just coming to life right now. Eva has her own private window right here.
We are on the streets of Alamos, and there is a small, scruffy dog in a car and several dogs on the street. They barked at each other and then basked in the sunshine. Story at 11.
We're gonna go out and explore town this morning before we head off on the motorbikes. Look at this dog. So Alamos is an old silver city. There were once upon a time a lot of great silver mines in Mexico, and Alamos was one of those cities. And that's why there's so many historic buildings here, beautiful architecture, because they had a lot of money from those mines to construct these great buildings. And so this is what's known as a Pueblo Magico. And it's one of the ones that really hasn't been greatly affected by mass tourism.
We're so close to this and it's so easy to get here. And it's like, why don't we spend more time down here?
What's really cool is it just feels like it's a chance to really truly get off into a different country, almost European, without having to go too far.
Alamos is fantastic. What
Yeah.
a great little town. It's so beautiful. The people are so kind and welcoming, and nobody's trying to gouge you or trying to sell you stuff or hustle you down for this, that, or the other thing.
There's so many animals wandering around this town, cats and dogs.
I love the dogs of Mexico. They're just everywhere. I love all of them. This is about the time of the trip where I start getting flea bites on my arms from petting all the dogs, but it's worth it.
There are Mexican families everywhere that seem to be on vacation, enjoying this beautiful sunshine, the architecture, the art, the vendors. It's got quite a pulse here. It just feels like there are discoveries waiting to be had around every corner. So that's why I'm out here walking around, taking pictures, looking into these little side alleys, glimpses of life in every direction. So this is just a random restaurant that we happened to walk into, and look at this place. How beautiful is this? You've got these white columns here, this timber framed roof, beautiful plants coming up, a pool, and all these old tiles on the floor. And not to mention, the food is really so good here.
Oh, I love this. It's a whole nother beautiful street over here. I just can't imagine a better place to stay than here. This is just as pretty as it gets, and I could wander around these streets all day, and I could always grab a little bit of Wi-Fi. And I think that's a really good idea because then we can pre-purchase our ferry tickets and know what we're doing on Sunday, which is waking up in La Paz on Monday morning.
You look like you're so hard at work, enjoying your vacation.
I am enjoying my vacation.
We decided that we're gonna hike up this hill.
And the way up looks so cool. There's this giant staircase. We're almost to the top too. Didn't take that long.
Well, we made it to the top of the hill. There's some stores up here and some soldiers and a big view.
That's so good. Do you love it? I love it.
So we're in Barrio Tacubaya, the Tacubaya neighborhood, and we just stopped into a gallery that we saw right on the side of the road here. The first thing that I noticed is that there's actually some artwork here from Jorge, who runs the hotel that Eva and I've been staying at for the last night.
I am just loving these beautiful paintings and such cool sculptures. These are my favorites though. Of course, I like the tough, badass ladies with guns.
Well, Eva.
Well, Sterling, good morning.
It's our last morning in Alamos. We spent a whole day here yesterday.
It was so nice.
That was really fun. You know what the best part is?
Huh.
I was tracking my fitness. I walked 22,000 steps
That's
yesterday.
awesome. You did so good.
It was such a big day of walking.
There was so many places we went.
So many places to see. Now we're going to go get breakfast at a place that I just discovered doing a little sleuthing and research. And it should be a pretty good way to wrap up our tour of this little magical pueblo.
It's great. And then we get to pack up the bikes and go for a motorcycle ride.
We have barely scratched the surface here in Alamos. I feel like there's a lot more to see and do, but I really do appreciate that we've had an entire day to be here because of the change in plans in our schedule. It's kind of allowed us to really soak in this environment in a way that you don't often get to do on motorcycle trips. You know, we spend so much time riding and riding and riding. So it was a real, different experience to have a day off like this. But I guess flexibility is key on a trip like this, and plans changed, but we're making the best of it and not doing too bad.
This town is just as good as it gets. I can't say enough good things about Alamos.